Dr. George is here.
Here, President Doctor, I'm ready.
Quali gitu. Purely quali ni sila. So, amo ni mga questions sila. Amo ni ilang ano.
Sa harila, sir, niya ko, ano, ito pa, conceptual framework, nila ba na?
These meetings man.
Di na sila magmangi eh. Wala na sila muni.
Kung ano ko.
Kung sa quali, wala. Wala na sila.
Dr. George, we are waiting for you.
Diretso lang
Are you
natin
ready?
sa scope na lang, sir.
Okay.
Ano na lang
Okay.
ang
First, I
theoretical, ano,
very
theoretical
honored and
perspectives na lang
grateful
sila.
to the Wokan
Wala ito.
Institute of Higher Education and the doctors Ham Shibar and Irfan Ula Stanihai. In this opportunity, we talk about rewarding the challenges in the advance of quality virtual education. In recent decades, the higher education has been experienced a significant transformation driven by the constant advancement in information and communication technologies. These tools have been enabled virtual distance education and adopted modality of learning in academic institutions all around the globe as the ICT continues to evolve and expand. It's essential to evaluate the impact on the quality of higher virtual education. Next, we talk about the landing on the context. Despite technological advances and in the increasing availability of ICT tools and virtual higher education, questions arise about the quality of the educational experience provided to students. The implementation of these technologies can vary widely among institutions, and the perceptions of their effectiveness can be subjective. Virtual education through the information society use research, combining research, knowledge, and innovation to advance to training process is support by ICTs and evidence changes in pedagogical practice and information management. Uh, Developed skills to strengthen access to knowledge, with which represents a new educational trend than promote activity-centered learning, where the protagonist of the training is the student, creating a change of mentally creativity, self-control, and discipline since the COVID-19 pandemic. Educators at all levels of education have found it's necessary to adopt new tools beyond simple using ICT or software to adapt to the new learning needs of students. This transition has not always been accompanied by adequate preparation, since the pandemic forced them to abandon their traditional role in this classroom. The obvious practice and of face-to-face evaluation methods this the theme of enter the world of distance of virtual education through technological platforms, regard or whether or not they were teachers up dated in ICT. However, these transformations has also posed considerable challenges, especially in terms of data security, student privacy, accessibility, quality of online content, and teacher training in new education methodologies. In addition, the digital divide and unequal access to technology can limit the students' active participation in virtual education. Higher education institutions are integral components of the education systems in all nations. All those involved in this training process must remain in constant learning from the situations and conditions that arise. From this, all countries must derive policies and strategies that allow them to provide the necessary attention to both students and teachers. Economical, social, and education rationalities, why the introduction of ICTs into the school system, there are necessary and education for the students to develop competence that will be demand in the world of work. This term will allow nations to improve the competitive of their workers, company, and economy. Distance learning is characterized by fundamental elements that make up the interactive triangle: the learner, the teach tutor, and the content. The latter is present through the didactic material used in the teaching learning process, which makes it a particularly relevant element. It includes of the information offered by the wire to the students. In this type of teaching, work is done of the self-learning model. The teacher is a while an auxiliary companion, but the student must develop autonomous. In addition to the fact that the tutor's work can be carried out in personal or distance, it can also contemplate combined modalities. In this sense, the constant advance of ICTs include the expansion of the high-speed internet and mobile devices, the development of innovative educational applications or platforms has given rise to the constantly change landscape in virtual education. The transformations toward this new type of education has present opportunities in the automated personalization of learning, the existing flexibility, the shielding of different courses, and the internationalization of education itself. To perform the quality in virtual environmental, students has to be competent in a series of actions, in attitudes such as writing in an adequate and organized way, extensive, require communication through email, management of the virtual environment to its tools, in addition to shared selection, in dissemination for information, organization of study and connection time, adequate relationships with other classmates, and organization of common work. For all these reasons, the relevance of analyzing how the use of various technological platforms directly impact the academic performance of higher education students is a complete virtual modality. Change in the advance of quality education virtual. The advances of the quality virtual education presents a number of significant opportunities and challenges. The opportunities include flexibility access to education with benefits a broad spectrum of or people seeking excellent education, or the other hand, the challenge center of the implementation of effective strategies to address to challenge inherent in distance education. According to the UNICEF, the new education poses challenge and opportunities for all involved. To assistance and support provided by UNICEF focus on meeting to needs, challenges, and opportunities of the education system, contributing to the implementation of effective education policy. It is essential to address both the challenge and opportunities in the field of quality virtual education to ensure that the benefits of the educational approach are maximized the obstacles to the may arise on the road to the more inclusive and effective education are overcome. The challenge in advances quality virtual education encompass various aspects that impact both teaching and learning, from adaptation to new technologies to inclusion and equitable access. This challenge requires special attention to ensure the effectiveness of virtual education. Of the main challenge is teacher training in the use of the digital tools and the creation of simulating virtual learning environments. Likewise, pedagogical quality in the design of the offline learning experience and effective interaction between students and teachers are crucial aspects for this successful or quality virtual education. In increasing digitalized world, addressing this challenge become essential to ensure that virtual education is inclusive, accessible, and the highest standard. Overcoming these obstacles will allow us to move towards an education system that is more adapted to the needs of the 21st century and the demands of the constantly evolving society. Conclusions: we have the evolution of the ICTs has had significant impact on virtual education. They have improved accessibility to educational research and enriches teaching and learning process through interactive tools. They have also facilitates communication and collaboration between teachers and students. Virtual education has experiences exponential growth thanks to this technology that advances is continued involved in the future. In addition, online the education platforms and tools Norway provide different options for the creation of the online classes, which offer a variety of interactive research, such as class videos, online evaluations, and interaction with other classmates. We did in the video conference, such as chat, among others, with making learning process more dynamic and attractive. ICTs have involve virtual education, but their effective implementation requires careful planning and constant adaptation as technology involves. Addressing the digital divide is essential to ensure that all students have access to these tools. However, they are an important part of the education system, offering variety opportunities for the students, such as the flexibility to access online materials and classes, or at times that suit players' needs, that provides flexible learning process in additional to glove access, which allow students to study online from anywhere, those spending learning opportunities and high education in the world. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you, Doctor. Thank you, Doctor, for your kind speech regarding the International Summit on Quality Education. And we are very grateful from your time. That's why we know in Latin America, Peru, there is a night all about 2 a.m. We are appreciated your time to give us. Thank you. Thank you once again for your time and your speech regarding the International Summit on Quality Education. Thank you.